pizza. So I'm going to start out with making the sauce first, then I'm going to go to the bread. And the sauce recipe is kind of my recipe, not really out of a book. So when you make it, you just have to kind of make it to taste how you want it. I'm just going to give you a basic of what's in it. So we're going to start out with 2 cloves of garlic and maybe about, like a half of an onion. You just kind of slice it and make it a little small, and then I'm going to turn the processor on first. Alright, and then you're going to add, I would say this is probably 1 full bell pepper and half of another one, and then you're going to do a whole tomato. I just add 2 mushrooms. You can put in, what you like. Just kind of give it a little bit more of a thickener. And then I'm going to add like a tablespoon of juiced lemon. Italian seasoning, since how it's going to be the pizza flavor. Now we're going to add a little bit of basil. And again, I'm just doing 1 tablespoon. Is some more oregano and a little bit of cilantro, or you could use parsley, whatever you have laying around the kitchen, that'll work. A little bit of tamari sauce. I'm just going to do a tablespoon again until I taste it. Do a little taste test after that. Oh, beautiful and red like pizza sauce. And if it's not salty enough, you could always add salt. Perfect. And that is your sauce for the top of your pizza. So now we're going to make the pizza crust. And it's a recipe, buckwheat bread from Russell James Basic Buckwheat Bread. Since how we're making pizza today, we're going to add oregano and some other spices to it that make it have more of a pizza flavor. So we're going to start with a half a cup of olive oil. And I'm adding garlic, 2 cloves, half of an onion, and I'm going to blend that up just a little bit. This is a Blendtec, and the Blendtec is more powerful because once we do the buckwheat, it processes a lot better than a regular blender. Just a little pulse so that the garlic gets chopped up. The recipe calls for 3½ zucchini, so we're just going to do like 2½. Calls for 2 apples. I'm just kind of cutting them a little smaller just so it blends better. So what I'm going to do is mix all this together, and then I'm going to take it out and mix up some of the buckwheat and mix it in slowly so that the blender doesn't get bound up. 2 avocados. Love avocado. The avocados are going to make it like smooth along with the apple. So it's more like a bread consistency. It's soft, not a hard crust pizza like a flax bread. We're going to add just a little bit of water. Alright, now I'm going to add the spices like whatever you want. I think it just calls for parsley, but since how, like I said, we're doing a pizza, we're going to do oregano, just a tablespoon, and then just test it and see if that's what you like. Basil, which is my favorite. We use a lot of that. And we got a little bit of Italian seasoning, and we got a little bit of lemon juice. It calls for 3 tablespoons. And then I'm going to add coriander. Just tablespoon. And cumin. Tamari sauce. A tablespoon of it. Add the other avocado. Blend it a little bit more. Be the base of the flavoring for the bread. Alright, and then you're going to set this aside in another bowl. I'd say pour out about half of it so that you have some kind of liquid for the buckwheat so it'll blend. Now we're going to add in the buckwheat, and the buckwheat is soaked. So here's the 3 cups of buckwheat.
Yes, so it's 2.5 cups.
I'm going to blend a little bit before I add the 3rd cup, and I'm going to start adding flax, ground flax, and it's 1.5 cups. But you're going to add just a little bit at the time so that it will blend. The flax is already measured out to the 1.5 cup, so I'm just going to add a little bit. And with this, you're just going to have to stop it and just kind of mix it in because it's a little dry until it gets to the bottom. We're using the Blendtec today, but you could use the food processor. The Blendtec just makes it a lot more smooth. So when it's like a bread, when you spread it, it's easier to spread, not so lumpy. Taste it. Good. But we're going to add a little bit more oregano. And I'm just hand mixing it so all this doesn't have to go back in the blender. And a little bit more of tamari. So whatever you like, just add. And I'm going to mix that together. And then we're going to start spreading it onto sheets. 3 cups of buckwheat will make 3 pizza crusts. Now we're going to spread it on a Teleflex sheet. If you want it thin, like you like thin crust pizza, then it probably wouldn't take as long to dehydrate. Thick makes it more like a pizza crust to me. So I'm going to do it kind of thick. This is the tough part, trying to get it make it circle or square, however you want to make it. Either you can make a 4th crust out of the leftover, or you can make some type of little biscuit. So I'm just going to use a regular spoon. And when you make the biscuits like a circle, they're going to be real doughy inside. And now we are at the final step of the pizza. It's dried enough to where we can add cheese, and this is cashew cheese that Melissa makes, and you can get it at present moment. And we're just gonna spread, just real light spread over the top. We're just gonna add the last bit, and this is just mushrooms and a little bit more tomato and bell pepper with a little bit of tamari sauce on it, and then you can just sprinkle it over the top. And if you want to, you could add spinach to it. Just kind of spread it out, and then this is your raw pizza.